12th man.
That is one beautiful
Big shout, and he's been given.
As the players were signed up for the new competition, behind the scenes, hundreds of people were working to revolutionise the way we watch the game. From the ground staff to TV technicians, World Series drew on some of Australia's most original thinkers. Mary Guerin reports.
We tried to turn cricket into a game of personalities and conflict, and I think that's what had been missing from the television coverage of the past.
Signs of the cricket revolution were under, beside and beyond the pitch, shooting the sweat and the strain straight from the crease to the lounge room for the first time.
The more we did the cricket, the more that we spoke with the commentators, the more we asked questions of why does this happen, why does that happen? Why can't we hear that happening? We, again, just thought we should be there. It is a one-on-one confrontation from bowler to batsman. We should be in there looking at that.
By using close-up shots and by cutting between the bowler and the batsman to show the conflict that was going on in the middle of the pitch, the cricket viewer would have understood what was going there, but the non-cricket viewer, for the first time, saw what cricket was all about.
Until 77, cricket was shot from just one end, so every second over was seen from behind the batsman's behind. Producer David Hill and his staff changed that, using 8 cameras instead of 2. They took techniques from documentary making and baseball coverage, close-up slow-motion replays, film animation, and, notably, microphones buried under the pitches in protective condoms.
Normally what would happen would there be what's called a parabolic mic, which gives you a big wide perspective sounds, but you didn't hear the actual conflict, the thump of the ball, the thump of the bat, the rattle of the stumps, and I think that's really what changed the coverage.
The on-air changes had their dangers. Swift censorship would have to handle the candid comments through the pitch mics, but the odds were always against the roving reporter assigned to interview departing batsmen.
You hit 4. Yeah. Almost good if you're out. That's right.
The broadcasts called for military-style manoeuvres from a massive mobile construction team, travelling nationwide and setting up at breakneck speed.
And I can remember day after day after day that we would be ready to go to air literally seconds before the opener rolled.
When it did roll, the newly assembled team of commentators was learning to talk to the audience in a new, more accessible way.
I was lucky in that I was a commentator along with a number of ex-test players, a number of famous ex-test players, Richie Benaud, Freddie Truman, Bill Lawry, Keith Stackpole and so on. And when we got to do the commentary, we were saying things like, you know, it's a good off break, it's a good bouncer, it's a good googly, backward short leg, mid-on. And David Hill would say to us, well, what is an off break? What is a bouncer? Where is silly mid-on?
Television has got a tremendous role to play there to not only to entertain people but to teach them what the game's about. What's a short leg or a fine leg or a third man? It's all foreign stuff to a lot of people.
Meanwhile, the players were pioneering new balls for night cricket. White beat out orange, lime, yellow and red in an exhaustive audition at VFL Park.
Kerry Packer was back in Sydney watching, and the telephone would ring, and everybody knew who was on the end of the telephone. So it ended up only David Hill or myself was virtually prepared to pick up the telephone. It became like pass the parcel in an Irish pub, you know.
I smile occasionally when I keep hearing that they can't get a white ball to play Test cricket tonight now. I mean, Kerry Packer stood on the turnstile gate in the first night game and put people in the members' stand. Austin Robertson just stood at the back and painted the balls white and just threw them to the umpires, and we kept playing. And nobody knew any different. The public didn't know any different. So when the ball got brown, Austin just painted them white and gave them the umpire, and we just played on.
But before the first ball could even be bowled, there was a more basic problem to solve: how to create sporting arenas from the tortured soil of football fields, trotting tracks and showgrounds in less than 6 months. The Gabbers groundsman jumped at the chance. He was nervous.
I don't think I've ever said this before. On my way up to the commentary box on that very first game that we did out of VFL Park, I was so nervous I threw up. And I apologise profusely to whoever the cleaners were down at VFL Park at that stage, but I threw up on I think it was the second stage going up there.
Nerves were put aside and all was in readiness. History was waiting for the first delivery in World Series cricket.
New recording, Bill Lawry, This Is Your Life. And what a star-studded tribute it is.
It's your co-commentator from Channel 9's Wide World of Sports, Tony Gregg. Will you thank Jeffrey Boycott, please? One of your fellow Victorians, Max Walker. Yeah. Would you thank Ian Chappell and John Farnham sends you this special message now. Ladies and gentlemen, Merv Hughes.
The 12th Man's wonderfully stupid tribute to a living legend, Bill Lawry, This Is Your Life, on CD and cassette now. Bill Lawry, This Is Your Life. And what a star-studded tribute it is.
And here he is now, Bill, your old mate and captain of the commentary team, Richie Benner. Here's a message from another well-known Aussie, Jimmy Barnes. Joining us now are 3 of your current champion birds. Would you please thank Tony Gregg, the great Sir Donald Bradford, the Nawab of Pataudi Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, Merv Hughes.
The 12th Man presents Bill Lawry, This Is Your Life, on CD and cassette now.